everybody, welcome back, and here we go for card number 2. I was really inspired by all the animals in this set of papers, but I particularly loved this little meditating sloth. I'm a big fan of a little bit of time for yourself, a little bit of meditation, finding your inner zen, so this really spoke to me. You'll notice when you put your card together that your pieces will be slightly longer. Now the reason yours will be slightly longer is because I cut mine wrong, okay, and at the time I didn't have enough stock here to recreate it, so I'm now going to show you how I would have created it had I have cut my pieces correctly. So for this one, it's one of my favourite types of style. It's a go-to design that I like to put together using strips from the DSP. It's a great way to showcase the patterns together. In this case they all work really well because they're black and white, and it's a great way to use little pieces and to showcase a sort of feature in the middle. I would usually use the scalloped contour dies for this design, but I really love using the Countryside in design dies to mix it up a little bit. So here we go. We've got another pool party card base, and this one is also a book fold. And what we're going to do is, before we stick things down, we're going to put them together. So I'm just going to put my card base under my card, and I'm going to take my piece of white card. Now you'll notice, so here, the piece of white card that you've cut is bigger, and that's on purpose, okay? That's the size it should have been had I have cut mine right. So I have my piece of white card. I then have my 3 pieces of DSP, and it really is up to you what patterns that you use. These are the ones that I've gone for, but it depends how you've cut your papers, and if you want to cut those animals up. I totally understand if you would rather not cut them up. You could definitely use strips of card instead, and you've got enough in your kit to cut some of those strips from the card. Okay, just thinking, if I cut that, nope, that's the right size. It's because the pattern has gone off the edge. Okay, so just layer these 3 along like so. And stick your last one down. I've left a nice little border of white showing. If I just bring that up, you'll see that a bit better. So you've got a nice little border between and around the edge, and that actually sits on the card much better. Here you've got a bit of a gap at the top and the bottom. So now we've done that, I'm going to add my ribbon before I go any further. So this is one of the spools of ribbon that come in the product suite. So this is like Petal Pink, I think, the shade. And I'm cutting myself just a small little strip, and I'm going to put that about there. So turn it over, and then take your tear and tape, or double-sided tape, whatever you like to call it, and I'm going to secure that down on either side. The reason I like to add my ribbon like this, 1, it uses less ribbon, and 2, I just find tying a bow a little bit more straightforward like this. So now I've done that, I can stick that piece to my card front. Make sure the card opens the right way, and like that, stick it down. So we're getting there slowly. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pieces, my die cut pieces. So these are the Countryside corner dies that are in the new annual catalogue. And yes, I'm not going to lie, I've used them on almost every project I've shared. I've cut the smallest one out of white card and the larger one out of crumb cake. And I'm just going around the edge of this with my pen, just to give it a little bit of something extra. Okay, nice. now we've done that, I'm going to stick that down. If you have the stamp set, the Countryside in stamp set, you could by all means stamp yourself a nice little border. There we go. So that is now going to get stuck down on there, and I'm going to stick that down with some pads to raise that ever so slightly. And that's going to go just about there. That looks quite central to me, and it looks straight. Okay, now on to our decorating. So the pieces that I've cut out of the DSP, I've got Mr. Sloth and I've got 2 sets of trees. Okay, so let's stick Mr. Sloth down and pop him on with a pad, and he's going to go just up there. Then take the trees and stick the trees down, but stick them behind him and stick them down flat. This just creates a little bit of depth in your card. There we go, pop that in there. Just make sure the trees are straight. Lovely. So we've done that. Now I'm going to take my ribbon, and my ribbon is still attached to my spool. Yours obviously won't be, but take your ribbon and slide it underneath, okay, and then tie yourself a nice little bow. Give that a little play. Nice. Okay, so we've done that, and then all we've got left to do is our sentiment. So I've cut you a plain black circle, and I'm using the sentiment, "You're too wonderful." Oh, I haven't stuck my sticker on there. "You're too wonderful." Is that what that says? Yes, it does. So we're going to do a little bit of heat embossing. I'm not going to forget my embossing buddy this time. And here we go with our nice new embossing pad. Lovely. You're too wonderful. Always use some tweezers if you can whilst you're embossing on these small pieces. 1, it protects your fingers, and 2, it kind of gives you a bit of control when you're adding your embossing powder. Okay. Now let's take this, bring our card back in, and let's stick that down. And that's going to go about there. Then the other thing you have in your kit, you have some little flowers, okay? So just take your little flowers, and I'm going to colour these in with a petal pink Stampin' Blend pen to match my ribbon that I've used, and it's just a nice way to add another little colour. You could by all means cut these out of petal pink card, and then the best way to attach these to your card is with a glue dot. So put them on your glue dots. So, and then take them off. just going to layer these in and around my sentiment. And then to finish those flowers off, I'm going to take some pink gems and just pop those in the centre. There we go. And then the last thing for me to do is to put my piece of white inside the card. And draw my little line around. You don't obviously have to do the little line if you don't want to, but I think it just goes quite nicely. There we have it. That is card number 2, all finished. I definitely think it looks better with the papers going to the top of the card. But do let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you all over on the 3rd video next. Bye for now.